Hey there, boys and girls. Today for our ELA unit, or this week for our ELA unit, we're going to be continue learning about weather that we kind of started before all this craziness happened. So one of the things we're going to really be focusing on this week, though, is bad weather and what bad weather looks like, how it makes us feel, and we're going to go into a little topic like that. So today I'm going to be reading you a story called Waiting on the Storm. And in the story, we're going to be reading about a mother and a daughter and how they notice a storm is coming. So this book is actually called realistic fiction, which means that it's not a real story, but it is a story that could actually happen, right? Realistic fiction means that it's made up, it's not true, it's pretend. However, this is a pretend story that actually could happen. So the characters could be real, the setting is, a place that we might see or know, and then the events too, the things that are happening could also really happen in real life. So, they act like real people, there's no magic or anything like that, it's not fantasy, it's an actual story that could take place, but as far as we know, didn't. So, we're going to be reading the story. And as we read it, I'm going to show you the pictures on my iPad as we flip through on the Wonders curriculum. And I'm going to have you guys visualize, too, some of the things that you would see that I'm reading, okay? So you're going to be sitting there and listening to the words, and you can visualize, like, in your brain, think about what's actually happening in the story, and try to picture it in your mind, okay? If it helps to close your eyes, you can always do that. Or sometimes Miss Lorenz can just sit there and listen very closely and hear and listen to the story and come up with those visions in our head. So those are going to be some of the things that you could see in real life and maybe you've experienced with your family. Okay? And then finally, as we read the story, I'm going to be reading it in order, in sequential order, which means that we're going in a sequence. Okay? There's something that happens first. There's something that happens second, so on and so forth, and then something that happens last. So as I'm reading, and as we talk about the story afterwards, or if you're telling me a story later on in our Flipgrid conversation, you can use words like first, next, and last to help put your events in your story in order. Make sense? Sound good? Then we're good to go. So let's get started. Are you ready? Waiting on the Storm. And we'll start here. You see the little girl and her mother. Looks like they were having some sort of picnic or they were gathering flowers. You can tell because they have a little basket with flowers. Mom's picking. Little girl, you can see the wind's picking up. Her hair's starting to blow. And there's the umbrella. I guess they were anticipating the storm coming. That means they were expecting it to show up. Mama? Yes, Buttercup? What's that I hear? It's only the wind in the treetops, my dear. So right before a storm usually, you start to hear the wind blowing and howling. And that's something maybe you could visualize in your head. If you're sitting at home and all of a sudden you hear like a whoo or a whoosh, you know something's happening outside. The weather is starting to pick up. Something is changing, right? You don't usually hear that on a sunny day. Why does it whistle? A storm's on its way. The wind calls the raindrops to come out and play. So the mom's telling the little girl that as the weather starts to change, the wind's job is to let the raindrops know it's time to come out. They come when the wind calls. They come when the wind calls. They burst from the cloud, skipping and leaping and laughing out loud. They spin and they tumble. They bounce on the breeze. They dance to the tune of the wind in the trees. And there's the mom and little girl as the rain's starting to pick up. Mom's got the umbrella out. Because you definitely don't want to be caught without an umbrella when the rain is pouring down, right? Mama? Yes, Buttercup? What's that I hear? So she heard the wind, which was calling in the rain. Wonder what else you could hear during a rainstorm. Any guesses? That's just the rumble of thunder, my dear. So when rainstorms get really, really bad, we know that you'll start to hear thunder, which is that boisterous or big noise that makes like a growling or a rumble before it strikes. It's too loud. I'm afraid. Oh, it's only a sound. Thunder stomps. Thunder stumbles and bumbles around. So we shouldn't be afraid of thunder. Thunder just means that there's lightning coming and that the storm is moving past us. So there's nothing, thunder really can't hurt us. It's just a really loud noise. But I will tell you, Miss Lorenz doesn't mind the thunder. I actually like listening to the rain. But Milo, my dog, he hates the sound of thunder. It scares him. So he hides in our bathtub when it rains. But a lot of people don't like the sound. The little girl doesn't seem to like the sound very much. What is it doing? It's racing up high, chasing the lightning all over the sky. So typically, right before you see lightning strike, you'll hear thunder. And so they say that usually that's how you can tell how far away thunder is between, or lightning is, between the claps and the thunder. So, but look how beautiful. Rain's really important, even though it's not great weather, right, for us to be in. The flowers and the plants and the animals really need it so they can stay hydrated and drink lots of water for the animals, or so the plants can continue to grow. But lightning's too tricky. It starts and it stops. It flashes and dashes between the raindrops. Now, lightning, on the other hand, is something we should be a little concerned about, right? We don't want to be swimming or outside when it's lightning because we can get really hurt. But as long as you're being safe and you're taking cover, there's nothing to be worried about. What will the turtles do? Oh, don't you fret. Turtles like being outside when it's wet. And fret means not to worry. So she's saying, don't worry, turtles like the rain, right? We were saying how the other animals, it's important to them for rain, right? They like ducks, turtles, fish, any kind of animal really enjoys the rain for the most part because it's a source for them for drinking water. Same thing with plants, right? It's a way that they can continue to grow. They can't just go to a sink and turn it on and get water out of the sink, not like we do. Like ducks? Yes, ducks paddle in water all day. Puddles are ducks' favorite places to play. So even though we call it bad weather, sometimes it's used for good things, right? Ducks certainly like it. What about chipmunks? They snuggle together deep in their burrows in wet, windy weather. And we learned what burrows were when we learned about some of the winter animals that we've talked about. They all huddle down deep in the holes in the ground, the burrows, where they stay warm in the winter time. And there's the little chipmunk getting deep down into the hole. Staying nice and cozy and dry underground. And birds? Where did birds go? Beneath mama's wings. When rains fall and winds blow, the mama bird sings. Hush, little chickadees, never you fear. There, you're safe now, and I am right here. So birds, because they live in nests, mama bird tends to just kind of cover her babies when it starts to rain to protect them, kind of like an umbrella. that beautiful tree starting to bloom because of all that water. We're comfy inside. Yes, we'll stay dry and warm, cozy together here out of the storm. Tomorrow the sun will shine, then we'll go play, and we'll splash in the pond like the ducks do all day. But for now, let's just watch. It's a wonder to see. I'm so glad I have you to share it with me. So that's one of the reasons I really like rainy weather, is because it's a chance for me to sit on my porch or to sit in my house and kind of be with my family, right? And get to enjoy that weather outside, even if it's not lovely. Sometimes I think it's calming, right? I love the sound of the rain on the roof and the little gentle howl of the wind. It's, I think, very relaxing. There's Mom and her little girl back in the house, nice and dry. Little girl's taking off her coat. Mom took down her umbrella. And they get to stay inside together and enjoy the weather from inside. Nice and warm. So come, darling buttercup, here where it's warm. Like chickadee babies, we're safe from the storm. While winds blow and rains fall, we'll wait out the weather. So they're doing the safe thing, which is staying inside, away from the lightning. And probably playing with some toys, reading some books. Cozy as bunnies, yes, snuggling together. I'm sure a lot of you snuggle with your moms and dads when the weather's not great. I know I definitely do. There they are, watching the weather together, cuddled up on the couch. The end. I hope you liked that story. I know I definitely did. Like I said, I love rainy weather. I have a porch on the front of my house, so I get to sit outside and listen to the pitter-patter of the raindrops and sit on my nice dry porch and listen to the different sounds and smell the different smells, because rain even has kind of a smell to it. But still while being safe, right? Because I'm not standing out in the middle of the road or in the grass. I don't have my umbrella up. I'm just sitting under the porch listening to the rainfall, and that's one of the things I really, really love about rain. But sometimes, we talk about how this kind of weather is bad weather, right? Because it's got lightning, it can be dangerous, it can flood. There's a lot of things that can happen, can make it very dangerous. However, there's also, like we said, some really good sides to weather, right? That we call bad weather. So with storms, bad weather can actually be really calming, and it can help animals and plants too, right? So that's just something to think about as we go forward, and you guys get to complete your flip grid. So for your flip grid, we have a question for you, and today's question is, tell me about stormy weather that you've seen. Maybe you've seen lots of lightning so bright that it lights up the sky. I know actually a couple nights ago, that's what I saw. I woke up in the middle of the night and there was lightning so bright that it lit up the entire sky, and Milo was crying and he jumped into the bathtub and he cuddled into bed with us because he was a little spooked. But tell me about your experience with stormy weather. What have you seen? What did you do? How did you feel? Let me know. I'm really excited to find out and very interested. So keep me posted. Let me know. Tell me exactly how you were thinking about it, what you were feeling about it, and what you saw. Because that's what's most important, right? Is being aware of what's going on around us in the weather. All right? So I hope you enjoyed the story today, and I will see you guys very, very soon with more stories as well. All right? Bye, guys. Have a good one. Can't wait to see your responses.